It's currently the 4th of July weekend. I have next week off of work, which means I want to do a bunch of painting in the next week. And in order to do that, I need to clear this space off. So I need to talk about some comics. Welcome to another episode of last week's Comics Today. I'm going to start with Ghost Cage. This is the final issue, and it is nutty. The whole series has been kind of nuts. We've got Sam here on the cover. He has been absorbing different types of energy, like the incarnation of different types of energy, and getting more powerful along the way. It's been a strange series, to say the least, and I didn't know. Once again, I was kind of afraid about how things were going to wrap up, given the amount that needed to happen and the space that was left. And no fear needed. It's pulled off amazingly well. There's about 2 pages of exposition up near the front of right here. All of this sort of explains a bunch of things that are happening. There's also these 2 versions of Colonel Sanders that are explaining a different set of things that have been happening, and all of that combines at the top of this tower that has been present in the first 2 issues. I don't know if it is. Here it is. I don't really get the scale of it there, but there's this huge tower a bit there. There's this huge tower that they have been climbing up, and in sort of kind of Matrix style, the cast meet Colonel Sanders. At the top of it, there's a showdown, only instead of being stupid and boring like the Matrix, this is awesome. And weirdly, this is the second time in 2 days I'm talking about the Matrix. I don't know what's going on there, but the series is great. As I said, this is the final issue. There should be a collection coming very shortly, and I do recommend grabbing that. If you didn't already notice, it is clearly black and white, but the art is excellent. Big fan. Loved it. Somewhat on the opposite side of the spectrum, I have talked previously about not being able to trust Tom King, and this series illustrates that excellently. It does not end well, I'll tell you that. So the other thing I've been thinking about recently, I was ever since I heard that Topher Grace recut the Star Wars prequels into a 2-hour movie, I've been curious about that. I've wanted to see it. I don't think I'm ever going to. He screens that stuff privately for his friends. It's obviously not for distribution. You can get the shit suit out of him. But I was thinking too, because I've been a part of some Obi-Wan conversations recently, talking about recutting Obi-Wan, cutting out the fluff, I guess, cutting it down from 6 episodes into maybe a 2-hour movie. And I had the same thought about Batman Catwoman. It's 12 issues, plus I think there's an annual and maybe a special, so we're talking 14 issues, 13, at least 14 maybe. And if you cut out a bunch of shit, would you actually have a good series? And I don't think you would, because you'd still have a shitty ending. But I do still love the art, at least when Clayman is drawing. And I would like, please, McFarlane, make some of these toys. Like, these 2 would be great. I don't know who that is, but he looks pretty cool. I would honestly like a Selena wedding dress figure. I think that would be awesome. Purple suit would be great. And I don't like this, the new version of the cutout armpits, but yeah. Please, Catwoman, that's not a movie. Please. So anyway, the ending of this series sucks, and I don't recommend. If you haven't started it, don't start it. You'll only be disappointed. It's except in the art. Once again, the art's great. On the other end of the spectrum, once again, we have Batman White Knight. This is issue 4, and it is fantastic. I love this book. I'm a huge fan of Sean Murphy. His art is amazing. I mean, look at her. Man, I love it. And in this, the writing is really spotlighted as well. The writing is really well done in this issue. There's a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but there's a handful of really quiet, very humorous moments, and I'm just a huge fan of what he's doing with the White Knight series. Couldn't be happier. This book is great. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm getting this spin-off, which is Red Hood, starting, I think, next month. This month. Let me look at this. I'm trying to get it so the glare isn't there, but what a panel. This guy's an absolute master. I love it. Anyway, there we go. So this is coming very soon, and I'm getting that as well in July, next month. There you go. So, White Knight, Red Hood. Love it. Couldn't be happier. Last week I was talking about a book that was ending on issue 11, and I couldn't remember which one it is. Pretty sure it is A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. This is issue 9, and if memory serves, and it actually is ending at 11, I don't know how we're going to get there, but I was very scared to read this because of issue 8 and the terrible things that happened in that issue. But this here was the preview image that they were showing at the back of issue 8 for this issue, and while it is not technically a lie, it is misleading. And it is misleading in the best possible way because things are actually better than they seem, and all of that is extremely vague, and I'm not going to go into details, except I will show, non-spoiler, some of the art. It's great. So, I don't know, usually I give some sort of recommendation or non-recommendation, and I think I'm going to hold off on A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance until it's over to see where things end up. But I have been enjoying it, even though it sometimes fills me with dread. At least I'm feeling something, right? It's eliciting emotion, which I think the creative team is doing their job. I just don't ultimately know where it's going. Robin, issue 15. I have been enjoying this, and this is... Robin is certainly in it more so at the end than the beginning and middle, but in that it's almost more of a... What do they call it? Backdoor pilots for Italia series. So there's a bunch of Italia in this, and Robin comes between his parents in a nice way, I'm going to say. And after the island stuff, the tournament, and the Shadow War Deathstroke stuff, this issue in particular gives Robin a new mission, a new direction to go in, and that's good. And what is kind of surprising is in this present era in which I feel very willing to just drop things, to stop reading, watching, whatever, I am still reading Robin. Still enjoying it, and I think that should say something. Let me show off the art, because this is the cover, clearly, but we get this as well. Here is some of the art and one of the action sequences that I randomly flipped to. What I'm remembering something now that happened in White Knight, now that I'm seeing these clowns, but there you go, an example of the art. Next up we have Ironcat issue 1, which might surprise some people again, but I have been and was enjoying McKay's Black Cat, and he's back with a new miniseries. I believe this is 5 issues. It has been a very fun read, and so I signed up for this as well, and there's one thing that annoys me, otherwise it continues to be fun. So she is on a heist. I forgot there's 2 things that annoy me. So she's on a heist, right? Immediately. The book starts, she's on a heist. And she is taking off a glove here, and then immediately puts her fingerprints all over the door. Like, what are you doing? Even if you need to take the glove off to use your whatever that is device, like, don't be touching the door. Don't be stupid. But things continue. And we get to then this point here where her phone goes off, and there's a line about how did you turn my ringer on, but if you're breaking into someplace, why one, is your phone even on, and two, why did you bring your phone in the first place? Like, if it's going to be off, which it should be if you're committing a crime, why did you even bring your phone in the first place? And because plot demanded it is, I think, the only reasonable explanation, and both of those things annoy me. Otherwise, it's a fun read. It's a heist comic with some interpersonal conflict, and it's fun. And hopefully next issue, nothing dumb is going to happen. Lastly for the week is BRZRKR issue 9. This is a 12-issue series, so there are 3 left. I backed the Kickstarter before the series started coming out in print, so I'm already well committed to this, and I don't know really that I recommend it. Now that I've seen sort of how things are shaking out, I mean, we're far enough along in this. It started out strong, and then it gets patty in the middle, and the end seems to be very weird. There's this almost Dr. Manhattan-ish sequence where blue energy is talking to some other darker, bluer energy, and things happen, but not many things happen. Is what I'm saying. It's more weird than weird is not a replacement for plot or story, and that seems to be what they think they can get away with for the last couple of issues, and it's not going well. So, like I said, I'm already committed to this. I'll see how it ends, but ultimately I'm not sure that I recommend it. I guess I'll come back around at issue 12 and figure out which way things fall. That's everything that I got this week. There are some good things in here. There are also some disappointments. I did want to point out one thing. I mentioned that I remembered something about White Knight, and there's this there's an Azrael gang. That's where these guys here, part of the Azrael gang, and it's really funny. It's a sort of world building. I say funny I mean amusing. It's well done. I enjoy it. All of that. Not funny. Haha. But, so there's an Azrael sort of cultish gang who is trying to spread his word, spread his message, and it's really entertaining. It's these little world building moments that I really enjoy. So this is definitely great. This is not, although there are some good moments in here, ultimately I still don't recommend it. And Ghost Cage, I think I'm going to give a dual pick of the week. Both of these are fantastic, and I highly recommend picking them up. Less so about some of the rest of this stack. But as always, I get all of my comics from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.